Hey guys, it's BBOY'S or but if you like to call me that, and today I did say on my last video that I was gonna do a top 10 for you guys. And today's top 10, we are going to be talking about my top 10 favorite Sonic the Hedgehog video games. It's actually been a while since I've basically talked about Sonic. The last time I talked about Sonic was on a collection video, I think. Anyways, it doesn't matter. All I'm saying is, it's been so long since I've talked about something Sonic related. And since I haven't talked about Sonic in a while, I just thought to myself, why not do a top 10 video of something Sonic related? And that is being my top 10 favorite Sonic video games. There are two things that I have to mention before starting this video. And that being said, I'm gonna say the mentionings anyway. First mentioning is that this video will be based on my opinions only, meaning that I'll be covering my favorite Sonic games. Some you may like, some you may dislike, but these are just some of my Sonic games that I personally like. Last thing before we start this video, I would like to make a big shout out to Jack Ryder TV. He basically makes a lot of song covers, and I believe that he makes song requests, I believe. I'm not fully sure if he actually does that, but I'm hoping that he actually does. So yeah, go subscribe to Jack Ryder TV, which I will leave in the link in the description below. Alright, enough being said, I will shut my mouth and start telling you guys my favorite Sonic games, starting with number 10. Sonic Rush for the Nintendo DS. When I first played this game, I actually got right addicted into this game because 1, Sonic is in it, and 2, this was the first appearance that Blaze was in a Sonic game. I really liked the music, the platforms, well, sometimes, and also, I like how there's a bunch of characters in the game, such as Tails, and Cream, and Amy, and Knuckles, I think. I think he was in the game. I'll probably add a picture up there. There was always this one interesting villain that I actually liked in the game, and that was Eggman Nega. But when he was added into the Sonic and Mario Olympic Games, the new one that came out just 2 years ago, ooh, I was kind of disappointed with this. Oh no, 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 don't you dare play it.
Eggman Nega!
Nintendo, Sega, you guys have lots of explaining to do. But enough said, another reason why I like this game is because there's a lot of special stages in the game, meaning that you can unlock Super Sonic, and I didn't actually know that Blaze can actually transform into her own form that is far beyond herself, known as Burning Blaze. When I first saw that, I was actually surprised. It's actually cool to have an actual female Sonic character to actually transform into something different other than a super. Number 9. Sonic Triple Trouble for the Virtual Console. Hear me out on this one. I've actually enjoyed playing this game on the actual Virtual Console version. Sonic, you can play as Tails. Platforming is amazing on this one. Knuckles is in the game. And most importantly, this was the first game that introduced Nat the Weasel, aka Fang the Sniper! But seriously, every time you go to a special stage in Sonic Triple Trouble, who ends up being the last boss in the special stage? That, my friends, is Nat the Weasel, aka Fang the Sniper. Although some of his boss levels were pretty hard, but I managed to defeat him anyway. All in all, this will forever be my second favorite classic Sonic game of all time. Number 8. Sonic and the Secret Rings. The storyline in this game was okay, I guess. But Dark Spine Sonic is pretty cool though. But anyways, the main reason on why this game is on the number 8 spot is because of its party mode. When I first played party mode at a friend's house, I actually enjoyed the party mode. There are actually different ones. There are tournament ones, there are palace ones. Forgive me if I'm mistaking the names, but I think you guys know what I mean. But anyways, this is actually the main reason I put this on the number 8 spot. Also, you got a whole handful of playable characters in the party mode. You can play as Sonic, you can play as Tails, Knuckles, Amy, Shadow, Cream, Silver, even Blaze. I really like the mini games, although some are pretty stressful. But when you play with a friend, it's really fun. It's somewhat similar to Mario Party, but with more Sonic, don't you think? Number 7. All of you haters who saw this coming, no self-serves for you guys until after I explain why Sonic 06 deserves to be in this spot. Quite a few reasons why I like Sonic 06 so much. Well, for one, I really like how the story goes, especially how when there's a whole saving the princess thing. Second, you can play as a buttload of characters, such as Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Shadow, Silver, you get the rest. 3, Mephiles is one of my favorite Sonic villains of all time. It even tells a whole backstory on how Mephiles and Iblis were created. But I know why most of you guys really hate this game so much. It's because of that one scene at the end of the game where... oh gosh. Oh no, 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 no!
I got rabies!
Here's some advice. Punish the person who created that scene and not the character. Plus, this was the first game that introduced Silver. Or was it Rivals? Who knows. Anyways, those are the reasons why I think Sonic 06 deserves to be in this spot, and Sega, make a remake of this game. Fix everything, including that final scene! Number 6. Sonic Forces. Okay, this has to be on the list. This is one of Sega's latest Sonic games by far. Though not many Sonic fans were pleased with classic Sonic being in the game. But hey, at least Chaos is in the game as a side character, unlike other characters. But aside of that, let's think of the positive ways on how this game is really cool. We got a new villain named Infinite, who is supposedly to be the edgy character than Shadow, apparently. And speaking of Shadow, he is a playable character! For DLC at least. And the most main reason why I like this game is because you get to create your own character! I mean, think about it. Who doesn't want to create their own character? You can make them look like this, or like this, or most importantly, like this. Also, the Wisps are back as weapons. But it doesn't matter, they're pretty useful. What's cool about the Wisp weapons is that they each have their own unique abilities. And this was its last fist bump into its number 6 entry. Now we are on to number 5. Sonic Adventure 2. I have heard many Sonic fans saying that this was the best Sonic game that has ever been created by Sega. And they are not lying. The platforming is great. Sonic speed is perfect. You can play as the villains, meaning Dr. Eggman as well, and I believe that is the only game that you can play as Dr. Eggman. no other game, which kinda sucks. Maybe Sega should make Adventure 3 someday. Another most popular thing that a lot of fans really like about this game is the Chow Garden. I mean, who doesn't love the Chow Garden? It's the most relaxing thing that you can do when you have finished a storyline or a mission or take a break from a mission. You can even customize them to make them wear unique stuff as well. I gotta admit, I do really like this game, but it is nowhere near to being one of my all-time favorite Sonic games, starting with the next number being number 4, Sonic Colors for Nintendo DS. Sure, the Wii version is good, but it is nowhere near as good as the DS version, in my opinion. And I know each different version of Sonic Color games has their own versions of Wisps. That being the Burst Wisp, and the Void Wisps, and a few others. Also, I really like the boss battles in the game. They're really fun and really entertaining. And there are also special stages in the game, and a special stage is somewhat similar to Sonic Rush, but I really like it much better. And you could even face the Mother Wisp. I think that's what it's called. Oh no, it's called the Nega Mother Wisps. And I like that boss battle. That is like my favorite boss battle of all time. Well, in Sonic Colors at least. Which is why we are going up to number 3. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 on any platforming version. Okay, I'm just gonna say this here. This is my most favorite classic Sonic game of all time. The platforms in the game are absolutely glorious. The levels are pretty spot on. They added a new character, which is Tails. But I recommend not using him along with the special stage. Just make sure that you have more rings than him. Otherwise, yeah. Another thing that's really cool about this game is that you can even play as Super Sonic. And there's also a trick way to unlocking Super Sonic really early in the game. Not only that there are a few requirements that you need, but here's another way to unlocking Super Sonic really early. All you have to do is just collect 50 rings and find at least 7 checkpoints in the Emerald Hill Zone on both acts. And also in other versions, you can even play as Knuckles. And don't even get me started with the music. Oh, on every single zone, in every single level, every song in the game is absolutely fire. Especially at that one level, I think it's called Skydrop Zone, where you're on Tails' airplane. I think you guys know what I'm talking about. But yeah, that's what I like that theme song so much. And that is why Sonic 2 is my most favorite classic Sonic game of all time. And there is no other game that could replace it. Because it's classic. And it's old. And future games cannot replace it. Number 2. Sonic Advance. The very first Sonic Advance game for the Game Boy. I used to play this game a lot when I was a little kid. Fun fact about this game is that this was the very first Sonic game that I have ever played. The platforming is good, the characters are unique in their own ways, the boss battles are fair to fight, and there's certain levels that are annoying, but they get better as the way you continue your journey. And fun fact about this game is that when I first played this game, I always used to play as Knuckles. Yep, you heard it here first, guys. Knuckles was originally my favorite character because of this game. But as when I started to know Sonic a little bit more, I started liking other characters like Tails and the Chaotix and Chaos and even Sonic. But now my current favorite Sonic character is Shadow. But yeah, the reason why Knuckles was my favorite character from the very beginning is that 1, he would climb, 2, he would glide, and 3, red used to be my favorite color. I even used to own a red Game Boy Advance SP. As you can see on this screen right here, it looked exactly like this. And I think it came with Spider-Man 2, the game, when I got it for, I think it was my birthday or Christmas on that day. I'm not really sure. But yeah, when I was little, I used to have fun playing with my Game Boy, especially playing Sonic Advance and Pokemon Emerald. Also Kirby's Nightmare in Dreamland, and what's that other game? Oh, Ultimate Spider-Man for the Game Boy SP. But yes, Sonic Advance will always be my very first Sonic game that I have ever played, and my most favorite Game Boy game of all time. But that is not the number 1 spot, so therefore, here is number 1. But before we go to number 1, we gotta do some honorable mentions. Sonic Riders Zero Gravity, because it is one of the most unique Sonic games of all time, as far as racing, of course. But in this game, Sonic just rides in the air, instead of being on his feet for once. Sonic Adventure DX Director's Cut, because it is more fun, and it's kinda better than regular Adventure. There is also a Child Guard in there, just like the first one. The gameplay is actually better. I heard that there were fixed bugs in the game, and oh, hello Cream. Sonic Battle, because this is one of the most fun games that I have ever played. It's also multiplayer mode. Even though that I've never played it on the Game Boy, I've played it on the emulator, and I used to play this game with my cousin all the time. And this game is really fun to play with someone. And finally, Sonic Generations for the 3DS. Why? Because it has almost every Sonic game mentioned into one game. And also, I like the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 version because it has a lot more levels and it has a lot of better boss battles in the game. And the number 1, my most favorite Sonic the Hedgehog game of all time is Sonic Unleashed for the Xbox 360. When I first saw the trailer when I was little, I was like, wait, Sonic can turn into a werewolf? That's freaking awesome! I really like the beginning because Sonic is at the airship, he's chasing after Eggman, and he turns into Super Sonic in the beginning, and he gets captured by Eggman, he gets electrocuted, and then the world gets destroyed by Eggman, summoning Dark Gaia, which also means that he turns Sonic into a werehog, which allowed the emeralds to lose power for some reason. And when Sonic fell down into Earth, or Mobius, or whatever that planet is called, there was a new side character, and his name was Chip. And Chip is my favorite side character of all time. Even though that I hate side characters a lot, but you can play as him at the end of the game. Plus, throughout the entire game, he's pretty much funny most of the time, especially when he hands out chocolate to everybody. Even though that there are not that many Sonic characters in the game, I'm fine with that. As long as the story is good, which it really is, then this game is epic. During the day, you're Sonic the Hedgehog. During the night, you're Sonic the Werehog. And also, Werehog can actually stretch his arms. I mean, how can you not think that's cool? That is way past cool. And also, Chip is the most very important character throughout the entire game because he is also known as Light Gaia. I think he is the rival or arch enemy or brother to Dark Gaia. And I really like how you can actually travel the entire world into the game. But there is this one level that is... it was way too long. It took me like a half hour to actually beat that level. And the boss battles, they're really fun. They are challenging, but they're really fun to battle with, especially the ones at night. Some of the Eggman ones, they either look the same or kinda different. But I still like them though. Oh, and remember when Dr. Eggman said that he was gonna make a Prototype 2 at the end of the game? Welp, he made a Prototype 2 in Sonic Forces. And even though that there are no special stages needed, the main goal in the game is that you have to restore the emeralds and restore the planets back together. And at the end of the game, Chip uses the temples to create some sort of gigantic temple man or Gaia thing or whatever that thing is called. I'm just gonna call it Light Gaia. Even though that I do not have an Xbox 360 anymore or don't have Sonic Unleashed anymore, it's still my favorite game of all time. And if they ever do like a remastered or make it like a downloadable thing on Xbox or PlayStation on a Switch, I'm gonna download it and replay everything through memory lane. It also has a mix between 3D and 2D platforming. You could even find items during the middle of the mission. I mean, once you collect those items during the missions, you can either unlock a soundtrack or an art concept. And the two of my most favorite stages in the games are Chunlin, the Empire City, and that Hawaiian place. I forgot what that's called. Sorry to disappoint you guys. But those three are my favorite levels. And with that being said, those are my top 10 favorite Sonic games of all time. What are your guys' favorite Sonic games? Leave a comment down below to tell me your favorites. And also, what do you think of my top 10? Do you agree or disagree on some of the games that I added? And remember to check out Jack Ryder TV. He has great content. He does covers, like singing. Yeah, like that. And also, check out the Enigma Frontiers channel. They have really good content. And also, they are starting Sega Season. And another person that I would like to make a shout out is Esma Girl. She also has an awesome channel. She is also doing Xenoverse for episodes. And last but not least is Josh Torres. Subscribe to him too. All of the channels that I made shoutouts to, I will leave links in the description below. Alright guys, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and like I said, leave a comment down below to see what your favorite Sonic games are. And always leave a notification on. B-Boy out.